Hey guys, welcome back to the next challenger. As you can see, I went ahead and changed my YouTube name to the next challenger. I didn't feel like running as Kelso was definitely going to fit the channel very well. It didn't make very much sense, and my picture didn't make very much sense either. So I'm trying to be a little more cohesive here. Please, by all means, in the comments, let me know what you think of the new look. I'm open to any suggestions, any comments, any concerns, anything like that. But we're going to get started today looking at Inteleon, Sniper Inteleon, to be 100% accurate. So we're going to go into this first battle. The search just takes forever. Give it a couple seconds here and it will definitely load in. But I'm going to go ahead and describe the team while it's loading in. So I have a Darmanitan that's Scarfed. It knows Icicle Crash. It knows Superpower, Earthquake, and Rock Slide. I have a Hippowdon that's holding Leftovers. The Hippowdon's going to know Slack Off, Stockpile, Fisher, and Rock Slide. Inteleon's going to have Focus Energy, Snipe Shot, Ice Beam, Dark Pulse with the Scope Lens. I definitely feel like having that extra help with the Scope Lens for improved critical hit is necessary when it comes to the Sniper ability. Obviously, you get the 3 times instead of the 2 times damage roll when you have critical hits from the Sniper Inteleon. So just the better odds, the better chance you're going to crit, and it works better overall. I also have Cloyster, who has Focus Sash. I run that Cloyster all the time. I just can't seem to get away from it. I'm also running Incineroar that has Drain Punch, Fake Out, U-Turn, and I believe Bulk Up. And that's running the Aguave Berry. Alright, so my opponent's going to lead with Gengar here. Now, I unfortunately did the wrong thing. Instead of going for a Focus Energy, I should have definitely went for the Dark Pulse. Dark Pulse is just going to hit Gengar super hard, and with Gengar being so frail, it definitely would have knocked it out in one go. But instead I tried to be a little cocky about it because I thought I was maybe a little bit faster, so I wanted to get off the Focus Energy. But as you can see, Gengar is definitely faster than me. It only uses Sludge Wave for this entire match, so I'm assuming it was Scarfed. Alright, so I tried to Dynamax here. I want to get as much HP as I can. I was definitely trying to see if I can outlive another Sludge Wave, but it just wasn't going to happen. There was no way. Oh, my final Pokemon, by the way, was a Hydreigon, Flamethrower, Flash Cannon, Dark Pulse, and Draco Meteor, and it is holding the Life Orb. Now, obviously, I'm going to take a ton of damage here from this Sludge Wave, seeing as this Gengar is much faster than basically my entire team. This Sludge Wave is going to do over half, so I have to make sure that this Dark Pulse hits and KOs the Gengar, or I could be in serious trouble here. For whatever reason, my opponent during this specific match just took forever in between turns. I don't know if they were trying to strategize or stall the timer or what, but this match is the longest match out of all 3 that I'm going to show you. In retrospect, I definitely should have went for Draco Meteor there. The extra damage output, it definitely would have done a lot more to Toxtricity than what the Dark Pulse did. Yes, it would have lowered my special attack, but it definitely would have helped out in the long run, and you'll definitely be able to see that near the end of the match. So he Gigantamaxes his Toxtricity. And I'm trying to go for the flinch here. I definitely want that flinch to happen. but there's no way I was living that. So, alright, we're going to start off with our last Pokemon, and this is going to be Hippowdon. Now, I love Hippowdon. It has come out clutch for me so many times. I can't get rid of it. It is a lot like the Cloyster. So, I have Hippowdon for defense and Cloyster for offense. If I'm leading a Cloyster, I have very little chance to just get off on the wrong foot. So I just Shell Smash once, and if they're going to try to go for setup, I Shell Smash again, and Icicle Spear, it just wrecks everybody. So I'm super concerned at this point because I'm wondering what he has in the back, and he just set up the Sun. So I'm just trying to get as much possible defense as I can. Hippowdon is really good at tanking a lot of hits, but I'm just super worried with the Sunlight that this is going to go horrible. The good news is Toxtricity is life orbed right here, and I realized it, and I was just trying to get him to do as much damage to himself as possible, because while Fisher is a great move to use, you have to pray to RNG Jesus to land this thing successfully. At 33%, your odds are just not good. And I have not PP maxed this one, so that being said, it only has 5 instead of 8 total PP on it. And that means that it's just going to be rough. If I miss 3 of my 5 Fishers, I am not going to win this battle. So they have a good strategy here to try to take on Hippowdon. They were lowering my special defense as I'm trying to raise it. Now this is the last stockpile that I'm going to do. And I'm going to try to go for the Fisher. Now I'm trying to look at stat buffs here. I see that I'm +3 defense, so I'm really hoping that the next Pokemon he brings in is extremely physical. So they Acid Spray me one more time, and that means I'm -1 for my special defense, but I'm +3 on regular defense. And the first Fisher that I throw out, it is going to miss. So I'm nervous about my health at this point. I just want to make sure that I can live one more round, because as soon as this round is up, I'm going to go ahead for that Rock Slide because he's such low damage, and with that Life Orb, it's definitely going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt me. So I'm trying to gain as much health back as possible. That way I can live this next hit and the Sunlight goes away. Alright, I am -3 in special defense. The only thing I'm hoping for is a defense or an attacking Pokemon instead of a special attacking Pokemon to come out. These leftovers are going to help a little bit, but I definitely wanted to make sure that I had more health than that, but unfortunately that Acid Spray just took its toll. And then here comes the Salazzle. I thought this match was lost, but you are going to see how crazy Hippowdon can be when RNG and defense come to play. Fisher, a one-hit KO move. And I get unlucky again. The Focus Sash, he's holding on. I have to figure out a way to end this match as fast as possible. Rock Slide at 100% accuracy. I'm just hoping he misses again. And he does, and this is where we pull out the first win with our Inteleon team. I'm not going to try to claim skill for that. That was definitely just luck. There's no way that I was getting around that without both of those Fire Blasts missing. So, super grateful for that. GG. And I should not have won that match. Alright, so we're going into round 2 here. Alright, so the only thing on the team that I'm really concerned about at this point is going to be the Duraludon. The Duraludon is super tanky. It's got a lot of beef to it. I don't want to face it. I really don't. So I'm thinking Darmanitan here for the Duraludon, but I go for Incineroar here to try to knock down some of that attack. Intimidate Incineroar is super, super good in this meta right now, so I'm definitely taking it one step at a time. And I have no idea what I was thinking when I was actually doing this, but instead of going for Darmanitan, I went straight for Cloyster, and honestly it ended up being a good thing, but I could have messed up so bad, and I just want to make sure that I'm doing the right thing for this battle. So John's up next, and John's going to be starting off the day with the Toxapex. Now Incineroar doesn't do anything good here. Toxapex doesn't have any good attack that it can use against me. But I'm going to go ahead and throw out the Fake Out here. I definitely want to stop it right in its tracks. I don't want it getting anywhere. I don't want it moving. I definitely want to get some chip damage here. Now obviously Black Sludge is going to counteract me here a little bit. But I'm going to go straight for the U-turn. I want out of here. I want to throw in my Inteleon. And as you guys will see, this is where Inteleon starts to pick up momentum. Alright, so we're going for a Focus Energy first. I want to get as much RNG as I can. If I can't hit a bunch of critical hits, I don't know how well this match is going to do. They go ahead and Toxic me, and I don't feel like it hurts a whole lot to be Toxicked. You have a whole lot less HP than half the other Mons you're going to face anyway. So one hit's going to knock you out pretty much from anything. But you want to come into these water-type matchups because this is just where you can definitely set up with the Inteleon. And Inteleon is super fast, so as long as you're not going up against a Scarf, then you should be able to outspeed well more than half the meta. So Inteleon's going to go straight for a Max Darkness, and the one thing that I was looking out for was that special defense drop. I definitely feel like it's going to be necessary to take out this Toxapex. Now I want you guys to keep close eye on the HP for the Toxapex because Baneful Bunker doesn't protect you all the way from a Dynamax move. And this Max Darkness is going to shock you how much damage actually comes out. We just one-shot a Toxapex from 90% with one special defense drop. In my opinion, that is super, super, super lucky. The critical hits help. It's just you have 3 times damage instead of 2. You're just doing so much damage for no reason. Well, obviously there's a reason, but you know what I mean. Alright, here comes the T-Tar. Now, Sandstream T-Tar is bulky. It can take a hit. But I'm thinking, oh, okay, Max Geyser, I'm going to reset up Rain again. I'm going to do more damage. But I did not take into account that Max Roxfall sets up the Sandstorm on top of my Max Geyser. So it just feels like a wasted move at this point. There's not much else I could have done in this situation anyway. It's either Max Geyser or swap out. No Ice Beam or Max Darkness is going to take down a T-Tar. Now, right here at this exact moment, I think to myself, well, if Inteleon goes down, it's done its job. It took out a Toxapex, and it severely weakened the Tyranitar. Now, in all honesty, I should have just went straight for Cloyster here, but I do not. I go straight for Incineroar because I'm trying to use that Intimidate to lower the attack of the Tyranitar. Which, it doesn't do anything anyway. They use Max Knuckle and they get their attack stat back. So then I'm forced into the only situation I did not want to be in, facing up against whoever's in the back, because since they have T-Tar, I'm thinking it's either got to be Duraludon or it's got to be Excadrill. And neither one of those Pokemon, neither one Cloyster wants to see, so it's not looking good at this particular second. Now, if you're going to learn anything from this video, the one thing I want you to learn is that Excadrill does not do good with Dig. You don't want to run an Excadrill with Dig. And this is the reason why. Yes, you're going to outspeed the Cloyster. And for the most part, I'm fairly certain it's Scarfed, sorry. I'm fairly certain it's Scarfed. It's faster than me. Even after a Shell Smash, it gets its attack move off before I do. It could also be Sand Force, I believe. Increases speed in the Sandstorm. I'm not sure what they thought they were getting through with using Dig, except for the fact that they're able to dodge my moves. But as you can see, the Excadrill is still going to hit before I hit, and Icicle Spear is just going to come in and finish it off. So please, do not run an Excadrill with Dig. Run it with Earthquake. You're going to get faster, more efficient moves that way. If they had Earthquake, this match would have been over. But now it's over because of me. So, GG on their side. I feel like they had a decent enough team, but they got to change that Excadrill from Dig to Earthquake. That would have definitely finished me off. Alright, so now we're starting our third match. And again, it's another Toxapex. Listen, this team that I am running, it feels like a Toxapex killer. I throw out 3 different Pokemon against 3 different Toxapex, and it just never ends good for the person using a Toxapex. I'm not trying to say that Toxapex isn't meta, but I am saying if you see a team like mine, don't throw your Toxapex in. But unfortunately, this particular player decided that they wanted to throw in a Toxapex. Now, I most definitely should have started with Inteleon. It would have given it the boost it needs, because obviously with Toxapex here, that means I'm getting off to the right foot right away. But I went ahead and I was looking at Max Quake. I wanted to see how much damage it would do, but I didn't want to waste my Dynamax on this particular one. I didn't feel like it was necessary, especially with the Earthquake back behind. So I went ahead and Earthquake the first one, and then I'm going to Earthquake again after the Protect. And then they hit me with something I have not seen in this meta right now, and that's going to be Red Card. I actually got carded, and my Hydreigon is going to be forced out onto the field. I'm going to soak up this Scald with Hydreigon, and it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but this is what killed a little bit of the battle for me. I'm burned. So when you're burned and you have Life Orb, it's basically doing double damage each turn you're going to hit it with a move. So I wanted to waste no time here. I went straight for a Draco Meteor, and I wanted to get this Toxapex out of here as fast as possible. Now with that special attack fall, I'm doing damage to myself with the Life Orb. I'm doing damage to myself with the Burn. They're going to go ahead and bring out their Ninetales. Their Ninetales knows Drought. I think this is great setup for a Sun team. I definitely feel like they had something going for them on this team. It just never worked out for them. And they're going to go for the Confuse Ray. This should have been my sign that they were willing to throw out the Drought and come in with a different Pokemon. And I should have used the Sun to my advantage. Obviously, they have something in the back that benefits from the Sun if they're going to switch out like this. And it happens to be Venusaur. Now, I'm super impressed with this team because I've actually not seen a Venusaur on the meta side just yet. I think it works really well. I think it looks super cool, and it's just so easy to figure out. Venusaur belongs on the easier side of teams. It's just so defensive. It can basically defend against a lot or most of the meta at this particular moment, besides Charizard. And then if you have like a Dragapult with Flamethrower, it's not knocking out a Venusaur. If you have a Hydreigon with a Flamethrower, it's not going to knock out Venusaur. You have to have the Fire Blast on those particular moments with the sun out, and you might be able to hit a Venusaur from full health. It's got some viability to it. I just don't know if this team worked against my team very well. Now, between the Burn and the Life Orb, it's taking out my Hydreigon. And I'm going straight for Darmanitan. I want to throw out an Icicle Crash, get this thing off the field as fast as possible. My Inteleon is not going to last. Now my opponent decided to go for Max Quake. I'm assuming that means they're running Earthquake. And it does a big chunk of damage, but as you can see, it's just not going to be enough for them to win the match. Here comes my Max Hailstorm. And that's going to go ahead and take care of the Venusaur, and now they have nothing on their team that makes me worry about what I have to do in the future to win the match. So while this match is finishing up, I'm going to go ahead and let it continue to play for you guys. I'm going to talk a little bit about Inteleon. Inteleon is super, super frail. You don't want it to come out against anything that's faster than it. It's just not going to be a good time. The sniper ability is super good, but you have to rely on so much RNG that it takes away from the Pokemon itself. You're basically just throwing luck out on the table and hoping you get what you need. You have to run it specifically with movesets that cover with the rest of your team. So my Max Darkness is there to take care of the Toxapex that I wouldn't be able to without it. The Ice Beam is there for the dragons that can just come in and wreck and not care at all about what you think about them. And then of course your other one, your Sniper Shot, is just there for your stab water move that does 3 times damage because of the sniper ability. It has 100% critical hit ratio. You can do a lot with Inteleon. You just have to be smart about how you use it. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to claim your gifts before I get off of here, guys. This item set is actually really, really good this time. It's got a chipped pot, a cracked pot, a sachet, a whipped cream, and one more. Can't remember. Oh, tart and sweet apples. So if you're having trouble getting your game exclusives for your Flapple and Appleton, this is a great way to do it. And you get your trade items for Swirlix and Spritzy. I also go in here and I go ahead and claim this Corsola. Obviously, this Corsola doesn't really do much for me. I have Shield, so I already have one, but it was in a Cherish Ball, so I thought it was really cool. Alright, to end off this video, guys, I want to definitely say thank you for joining me today. I wanted to try out this new look. The next challenger, I'm hoping it actually does something a little better for me than Kelso did with the Star Wars picture. It just didn't make any sense. So without further ado, guys, thank you guys for joining, and I'll see you again for the next challenger.